chest, or else I'ma really be depressed. Looking like a fool in front of you. Don't give me those eyes, I just wanna tell the truth. I just gotta get it on my chest, or else I'ma really be depressed. Looking like a fool in front of you. Don't give me those eyes, I just wanna tell the truth. I just gotta get it on my chest.
All right. We have a game, but this time, even though the mats look familiar, it's not gonna be a dojo game. It's actually gonna be a local game between. You're familiar with the mat, right? It's gonna be Ruby Amethyst Evasive versus Sapphire Amber, which I'm going to pilot. This is like the revenge style. You know what I'm saying? I actually changed the deck list, right? I'll show you the deck list afterwards. But right now, I'm just gonna do some commentary on the gameplay. It's really hard. Pascal is actually a really good opener, obviously, right? Double Pascal is just crazy too. So my turn one was actually Developer Brain. Turn two, be our guest, which isn't the worst, right? But against against a deck that has some kind of aggro, you do kind of want to see like units or characters on board. But since it's Pascal, that my Stitch or like Phil wouldn't have done anything anyways. So I guess it was the best case scenario for me. But just in general, in aggro, you do kind of want to see your like 1, 2, 3s, right? Your characters that are cost like 1 and then 2 and then 3. And right here, I think when you don't get your Mickey on turn 3, it actually hurts the deck. It does. It actually like hurts the curve of the deck. So my philosophy here, okay, so after playing this deck too, what I changed is that the aerial also can serve as a Mickey if you have a turn 2 play, which is pretty bad. Like if you have a character on your second turn, right? Let's say Phil or Grandma Tala, right? Which I didn't play it in this version right now that you guys are watching. Ooh, that's a misplay as well. Like he knew better, man. He knew better. He wanted to quest with Sergeant Tibbs for some reason. Got a little greedy there, but I drew 2 off of that. It's all good though. It's all good. Um, what was I saying? Yeah. So Ariel can be a Mickey, right? Which ramps you up by 1. If you have a turn to play like Grandma Tyler or Phil, and have Ariel basically search your 1 jump ahead and have the turn to character basically sing it for you, right? But you're asking for 3 cards there. But that's how important it is to not miss a ramp, I guess, on turn 3. Honestly, it's just turn 3. It's just turn 3 because in turn 4 it's kind of awkward because like you want to play something for 4. Do you have anything for 4? Or like you have something for 5. You have a lot of 5s, but you're not there. So you have to wait another turn, right? Which you're like you're playing a Mickey, right? You played the Detective Mickey on turn 4. Let's say you missed it, right? Turn 4, play the Mickey, which gives you 5 inks, and the next turn you're at 6, right? You want to drop your 5 drop, obviously, but at the same time you should have been at 7. You know, like I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. It's just a weird curve when you don't get to when you don't get to ramp early on. If you don't get your 1, 2, 3. But that was game 1. Evasive 1, obviously you just can't trade efficiently against them, even though you have bodies, because the only way Sapphire Amber can actually deal with Evasive in general is the removals, right? Which is Let It Go and Hades. But the problem with Let It Go and Hades is you might want to save those for like Elsa. Maybe not the Dragonfire. Not Dragonfire. Maleficent Dragon. You can always just swing into Maleficent Dragon. 5 willpower isn't that strong, honestly. Or it could be, because my highest is probably a 3, right? My highest, yeah. So right here we were kind of discussing like my boy John here is actually telling me to play the horse Maximus, right? Uh, turn 3 Maximus plays. I'm still not convinced with Maximus. The 3 drop, right? That gives your opponent's character like -2. I'm still not convinced because I have yet to see a moment or a time where I'm like, oh, I wish I had a Maximus here so I could trade into something. Not even just against the evasive, just locals. I went against purple steel. I also went against amber steel, and I lost the amber steel one. So yeah, the weakness again for amber sapphire is that if they have a wide board, let's say like 4 Captain Hooks and 4 Prince Eric, let's just say there's like low impact cards, right? Like in like reality, right? 4 Erics and 4 Captain Hooks is whatever. That I would actually lose to that if you just continuously like quest like 6 per turn or 4 per turn. I have to deal 1, swing to 1, right? Because my board like can't really trade into you like that. Because my highest attacks probably is 4 Stitch, and yeah, Stitch and Robin Hood. I also have a lot of respect on towards Robin Hood now. I was not playing Robin Hood before, but now I put 4, I think, or 3. It's fun, like playing decks like Sapphire Amber. You get to a point where you just want to keep tweaking it and make it work, right? Because it can work. There's cards where you're like, ah, this card's so bad, and then later on you're like, I need that card. You know what I'm saying? So right here too, yeah, it was a landslide, I think, because I was able to get my turn 3 Mickey, Detective Mickey, right? Turn 4, I believe I one jump ahead too. No, turn 3, I Mickey and one jump ahead actually. And that was at 6 next turn, and then that was it. I was at 6, and then I was at 7, bro. Like, jeez, look at stitches, bro. The stitches are insane here, actually. And the third one, bro. I just drew 6, bro. That's insane. And that's game 2. Pretty sure. Like, there's just no way. Right? Yeah. Okay. So redemption arc. We got game 2 off of like high rolling, which feels great, but it also doesn't feel great sometimes. It feels great to high roll, but at the same time, it's like I should not have won that type of thing, you know? I'll take the wins though. I've definitely felt a lot of those because in Lorcana, I think there's a lot of people who doesn't know how to properly play the game yet, right? Like properly meaning like what cards to check out or what to be aware of in certain matchups, right? Because a lot of people are not really like concerned about matchups. They're more concerned about how is my deck performing or gonna perform. How do I pull this off or how do I do this cool thing, right? Which makes sense. But like in a more competitive thing, it's more of like how do I beat the best deck, or how do I take advantage of the fact that Ruby Amethyst is the best deck and exploit holes, right? Because you can. Just like what this Ruby Amethyst Evasive is trying to do. By having the Evasive key on your cards, makes it that they have to deal with your cards through the removals that you're equipped with. You're basically like one for oneing their removals in exchange for your evasive, and if they don't have it, which a lot of times they usually don't have it like right there and then, you get to quest for 2. The games can definitely be long, but at this point, honestly, I think I'm ahead, right? You see 2 Mickeys. I just dropped Hades. I actually like Hades. Although I don't like giving my opponent any ink. Especially decks like Ruby Amethyst who has a lot of uninkable. You probably are helping them out by playing blue, right? That Stitch? No, it's Robin Hood. Quest with everyone, because I can't touch Pascal. Sometimes too, you forget that you're playing Amber. So my biggest thing with Sapphire Amber is still the same, right? From the previous video that I have. It's really like you can't clear the board. Or if their board's bigger than yours, you can't really do anything about it. Right? It's not even because of like be prepared or grab your sword. You're just not equipped with cards that gets rid of like small things on board other than swinging into them. Right? And if they're not exerted, you can't really do anything either. So you have to make the first move and like not exploit, but extract value, right? So you put your cards sideways so that they have to do things to you so that you could do things to them, right? But that's not always like really good, because what if the move that you made is not good enough for them to do things to you, right? If that makes sense. You have to have a high impact card in order to extract value off of your opponent. Like this Maleficent, right? So Mickey's done his job. He can stay there until the end of the game. We have 20 inks. He could stay there 20 like later on and have no impact. Right? Yeah, you could quest for one, but that's pretty much it. His stats is ass. He can't trade for nothing. He can't sing any song. I mean, unless you're playing purple, right? He just has low value and you can leave Mickey alone, right? But Maleficent, you can't really. You have to check Maleficent, right? So you have to put Maleficent sideways. So your opponent can do this, right? Well, I know he swung to Mickey, but I feel like that was the only play he had after Forgotten Me. Not gonna lie to you. He discarded the big dragon. I don't think he's at 9. 3, 6, 7, 8. 3, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, and I don't think he has an inkable actually to play the dragon next turn. Which is surprising because I feel like there was a world where he could have just kept drawing and drawing and drawing to then get the uninkable, but maybe they've forgotten me. That really screwed him up. Forgotten me. Oh, he still has it. Okay. So he probably kept he probably had 2 dragons in hand and one be prepared, which makes a lot of sense, right? I wouldn't have kept be prepared either because I'm against like Amber Sapphire who plays 1 card, quest for 2 and pass. That's usually because that's what control is, right? But I'm at 6 of 18. Yeah, it's probably really tough here. I don't think he has anything. Yep, probably just game right here. So it's Forgotten Me, right? Forgotten Me was the card that bested him, honestly. All right, so these are the deck list for both of them, and I want to break down something, just a little bit of something with Amber Sapphire. Honestly, it's not a bad deck. I don't think at all it's a bad deck, right? The strength of Sapphire Amber is ramping and playing cards that are actually good. Like they actually have value on play, which is Stitch, Surfer Stitch, right? Obviously Rapunzel, Hades, and Aurora actually, right? Obviously we got a boy Robin Hood, and they all have value on play. Like once you play them, they instantly do something for you. Because Hades and Stitch is probably the best cards to Rapunzel onto. Like it's so scary because of the 8 willpower and the 6 willpower of Hades, right? But you have to kill them completely, or else they will heal and draw 3 off of that. Right? Which is why the Amber is pretty scary, because like if you do end up like swinging or trading or trying to quest, they will punish you by swinging back to you, surviving, and then drawing off of that. Talking about Rapunzel, I don't think a lot of people still understand that Rapunzel is only strong, is only useful when that scenario happens. Just don't give your opponents like unnecessary advantages. Just that's it. That's really all it is. Against Amber. Yeah, I think Amber Sapphire is actually a really solid deck. I definitely will keep tweaking the deck. You will definitely see more of that. But if you guys are interested in the Ruby Amethyst Evasive, I actually am also gonna pilot the deck and make, or just basically like do my own twist to it and try to see what is the most effective way to play in the mirror and also play into aggressive decks. Those are the only two things that my Ruby Amethyst Evasive can be worried about, right? Because in my opinion, most matchups with Ruby Amethyst is 50-50, like most, right? But with the Evasive, I'm trying to make the mirror match towards my favor, having evasive cards in there. But I think having the evasive or having that kind of playstyle versus like the traditional one that we see, I feel like it struggles more against aggro decks. So if I find the middle ground and am able to do that, I will post the video and we'll have a discussion. I need you guys to do something for me. Go to the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about Sapphire Amber. Do you guys think it's really good against Ruby Amethyst? And how do you feel about the wider boards that people make that you can't really out? What am I doing wrong? Like, give me something here, guys. I need to know what you guys think about Sapphire Amber. I see the hype. I see the potential. I see the vision. I see it. But so far, I've put it at 6 out of 10. And Ruby Amethyst is at 9 out of 10. If that's a good way for you guys to gauge where I'm at with this deck, you know? Either way, like, subscribe, do all that things. We're going to have more stuff going on because 1K is coming. That means everyone and their mothers playtesting for the 1K. It's coming out this weekend. We will see you guys there at Topka Comics. But for now, stay grinding. Peace.
What the fuck is Robin Hood gonna do? It has a whole extra turn to swing. It has a whole extra turn to swing. Damn, you can't even deal with my characters. Bro. That's crazy. That's crazy.
You need to relax, man. This is the reason why I play 3 before. There's one card.
Yo, chillax.